What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Not too much. Dude, did you see this story?
Which one?
It's a story that it's something that we completely tell a lot of people about. Like, it's just crazy what happened. Uber
Like
says,
minors?
huh?
You're talking about like with minors?
No, no, no. This is worse. This is like a couple of different things all rolled into one story. It's a cleaning fee that's gone crazy. And then on top of it, the person can't even get hold of them because it was a fake name.
Oh, so this sounds like pretty much every other story that we've pretty much ever covered, right?
Kind of, but you got to
People
see
get drunk
this
or
thing.
something, can't hold their liquor like usual.
Something like that. Hold on. Let me show you this. This is crazy. All right. So it says, in the over 12,000 Uber rides that Chicago driver Jose Duran has given, he said three people have vomited in the car, but no one has ever given birth in the back seat.
Birth,
Yeah.
Uber baby. Oh man.
So that just happened Sunday. So halfway through the ride, she started screaming, told her, "You're freaking me out. You okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm fine," he said. And then he started screaming, or then she started screaming again. She said, "It's this baby." And I'm like, "What baby?" So he
What
said
baby?
Duran had no idea that the woman was even pregnant. He recognized the address where he was heading as the University of Chicago Medical Center, but had no idea she was going there because she was in labor. Now, the big question is, I wonder if she was wearing a mask at this point or not yet.
Oh man, that would at least muffle the scream a little bit, right?
Yeah, right. But she started screaming again. It was coming out. He said, "I started freaking out because I'm on the Dan Ryan. I'm on the Dan Ryan right before 47th. And what do I do?"
Like it's coming up. Like no, put it back in. Put it back in.
Oh yeah. So this is crazy right here. It's like, first of all, we don't, we say don't use Uber to get to an emergency room, or don't use it as a ambulance in any way, because drivers don't have the medical expertise as a EMT or anything like that. And then on top of it, it's like, yeah, once something really does happen like this, what do you actually do? So this guy ran a bunch of red lights and probably could have gotten a ticket along the way, and he finally made it to the ER. And again, like I said, I don't know if she was wearing a mask or not. Now, just imagine if she wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to cancel. Next ride.
I bet he
Uh,
wishes he did cancel that one.
yeah, right. Once he made sure the baby and mom were okay, he reached out to Uber to see what to do next. Now, that was pretty cool. I mean, obviously, you want to make sure she's okay and everything. So that's cool. Then they texted me and said to get the car detailed. Okay. But when he tried to have it done, he was told he couldn't because of all the bodily fluids that seeped deep into the dark cloth seats. So they tell him that the seats have to be replaced. Now that's pretty crazy right there. And then
Yeah, and
who's,
because you know how Uber is when you get it, go to get a cleaning fee, you have to take pictures of it. Of course, bodily fluids, water, anything, piss, anything like that at all. If you have dark seats, it's not even going to look like anything.
mhm.
So, oh man, I can imagine what this guy's thinking. They probably came back with that BS, scripted line, and they might have gave him 150 bucks.
Maybe. But the thing is, you're supposed to have the receipt. So at this point, this guy had three vomit calls already. So more than likely, he probably already had to take pictures in order to prove it, and get the detail receipt. The only difference is, if you don't have a receipt because you got to get them replaced, then what? And it's like, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, he said, who's going to pay for it? Duran said he would have to pay $1,000 deductible, and there's no guarantee the rest is even going to be covered. So does this lady have insurance to pay for this? Is this one of those situations no one ever thinks about? And that's pretty much exactly true. It's like, now, what would happen if somebody goes into labor in your car? And you probably don't think of it that way. At least in my opinion, I don't think I've ever come across this type of story, nor even had it run my mind. What
Oh,
about you? You ever?
I did get that one story in New York where that baby was born, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's a blessing, it's a blessing." And then he was asking, he's like, "Hey man, you got to throw me a couple bucks for the cleaning fee or something?" And the guy was like, "No, I don't even have anything." So I mean, yeah,
Oh
I've heard
man.
of this happening one other time, But I don't think Uber or anybody helped him out. He didn't get compensated or anything, and it all fell on him as
Oh,
something
wow.
like this would happen. Because we all
Yeah.
know, did they even find the lady or anything?
Well, here's the best part. So let me get to this. He says Duran said he has called Uber many times since this happened, and he can't get any answers. I'm going to skip what Uber issued because this just came out. But he says Duran can't work until he gets the car cleaned. He estimates he's losing about $600 a day. He told WGN News he can't reach the woman because she gave a fake name on the Uber app, and the hospital won't release any information because of HIPAA laws.
See, and that's messed up right there. And that just makes you want to smack a bitch somebody so bad when all of a sudden you can't even get a hold of them. And this is why we say Uber and Lyft and all the, any rideshare companies out there that you're taking people, they need to have riders, everybody have the real names, photo IDs, because crap like this, I mean, even if something else happens, they need to be traced, tracked, they need to be held accountable. And obviously when something like right now, nobody can do anything. So pretty much she just got a cheap ride to the hospital and caused a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah. And who knows how that actually happened in the car. I mean, yeah, the seats all have to be replaced. That could be a substantial amount of money, but I don't know if the carpet has to be replaced as well too, because it could have fallen down. And then that means even more work. You got to take all the panels out. You got to take the front seats out. You got to take everything out essentially. And he said
it's almost like someone puking down the side of your window and it all going behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
Take everything apart.
But good news, it seems that late Monday, Uber issued a statement that said, we are now in contact with the driver and are in the process of working with him to provide support to cover the cost of cleaning his vehicle.
Holy, what? Say that again? Oh, I did not hear my ears must be deceiving me. Uber's actually going to help this driver out. It must be because he got posted on the news and everything and they blasted him so that they want a big PR mess or anything. But
exactly.
That is awesome if Uber's actually going to cover the cost of this driver. And then hopefully, he won't be getting deactivated next month.
Yeah, right. But yeah, he says, it says the cost of cleaning his vehicle. It doesn't say cost of repairs. It just says cost of cleaning.
You know how they are in words. They play that little word game really well.
I'm really curious as to this. And then the only thing is, I don't think it says exactly when this had happened. It was Sunday. So this was Sunday. So it was just a couple of days ago, being that it's Tuesday now. But yeah, I mean, having 12,000 rides, yeah, he's a full-time driver. He's out all of the time to have that many rides. But yeah, when you're out that much, cost of cleaning the vehicle, well, we're going to just clean it. So we're going to work with one of our detail shops that we called and made sure that you can get it cleaned. But yeah, I'm curious as to if they're going to get the cleaning or if they're going to actually replace it, because that type of wording right there could be pretty crazy nonetheless.
Yeah, because that wording to me sounds like they're just going to, they'll pay for it to have it, steam cleaned or whatever, professionally cleaned. But I don't know if they're going to be actually covering the cost of replacing the seats, because I don't know what kind of vehicle he had. But I remember I saw a picture and the seats look, they look pretty decent. Look like they're going to cost a pretty penny. You're probably looking at least, $1,200-$1,500 right there.
Yeah, he's got. Hold on,
if they have the carpet. Well, that's even a little bit more.
He's got. I don't know. It looks like a hybrid. Not that really has anything to do with. Because I'm looking at the video on the thing right now, but it doesn't show exactly what the car make is. Oh, wait. It's not going to show it, darn. But yeah,
this is exactly why, though. I mean, this is why we tell people, you know what I'm saying? Riders, do not use us as an ambulance, okay? We are not, like EMT certified or anything. We can't be, handling anything like that going on in our cars. I mean, obviously she was hoping, I'd like to think she was hoping to try to beat it and everything and maybe thought it was false labor or something. I don't know. But that is just so messed up. And this is why we tell people, too, please have a dash camera. Because if Uber and Lyft aren't going to tell you their real, their names, whatever names they used, obviously, as we can see from this, most of the time they're fake. Well, guess what? A camera can still capture what they look like. I mean, unless she had a mask on, then that kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. But if she didn't have a mask on or took it off at any time, you'd be able to catch her face, and then you could push that, give that to the police, and hopefully they would be able to find out by face recognition or whatever the heck they can do to track people down that way. But if you don't have a camera at all, well, then it's just your word against hers. She could just lie the whole time and said she spilled her drink. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I didn't have no baby. What baby? And a matter of fact, I'm curious, how is the baby? Is she named the baby after the driver?
That would be actually pretty interesting. I'm wondering that. That's pretty funny, though. But yeah, it's just that I can't believe that. I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, first of all, yeah, we always say don't use this as an ambulance, because if you truly have a real emergency, we don't, for the most part, don't know necessarily what to do, nor even have the equipment to take care of something like that. So an ambulance is going to have all that stuff. They're going to try to get you as stable as possible so they can hand you off to the doctor. And yeah, I think at this point, she probably didn't know what was going to happen. I'm probably going to infer that and assume that. I don't think she was the issue. The problem, though, is the fact that she used a fake name. And that is also another problem with when it comes to down to the safety aspect of things. So, it's just a whole bunch of different things rolled into one crazy ass story.
Not to mention the simple fact of when you order an Uber, like, she got lucky this guy ran all those red lights and everything else. Because I'd be damned if I'm going to endanger myself in my vehicle because you wanted to be cheap and take me instead of an ambulance. I mean, come on now, because who's going to pay for that ticket? I'm sure he got a ticket somewhere, one of those red light cameras or something. So who's going to pay
possible,
for it?
especially being in Chicago.
Exactly. So, I mean, that means he's double screwed. And what if he got in an accident or something? You think then it would be, oh, no, I was rushing for her. That they ain't going to care about that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be held accountable for what happens. And man, oh, man, this guy got lucky. She got lucky. But I wouldn't be running all red lights and everything for nobody. Except
I was just going to ask you.
My kids.
I was just going to ask you, what would you do if you were the driver in this circumstance? What would you be doing? Would you pretty much stop it at the lights? Would you continue on? What would you do? Would you call the ambulance? What would you do?
That's a tough question to answer, honestly, because, that's going to be in the heat of the moment thing. But if I was somehow able to not panic and everything like he was, and, I would try to call 911, pull over and be like, look, I can't continue on, you have to get there fast. But at the same time, I'd be like, oh, well, she could die or something too if something bad went wrong. So that's a big conundrum, and I don't think anybody honestly knows what they will do until it's happening in the heat of the moment. But we can all speculate what we would like us to do. I would like for me to be able to just pull over, call 911, be like, yo, you got to step out. It's not my problem. Where's your baby daddy at? You know what I'm saying? Like,
the one thing, though, that you probably would want to do is call emergency or click the little shield button in the corner through Uber.
Be like, what's going on? She's having a baby. What baby? It's not my baby, but it's a baby. It's coming.
Yeah, the one thing I would say is if anybody is in a situation like that, whether it's giving a pregnant woman or some sort of emergency, use the emergency services button on Uber, because at least in that way you can cover your ass in terms of, well, this is what had to happen. I had to call. Maybe the call is actually recorded as well. If you don't have a dash camera, one of the big reasons why you do need to have a dash camera and recording and save that footage in the event. But yeah, I think what I would end up doing is I'd probably try to at least call 911 and then get further instruction from them, because they might say, do this type of thing. Where are you? We'll get a police escort or something like that. Or they'll say, we'll get an ambulance to you. So I would probably go under that impression, or at least in my opinion, that's probably what I would do. Because then if they're telling you to run red lights, it's on record again, because you can get that call recording,
which is still really risky too.
Oh,
and it's like,
sure.
Now what? Drivers got to carry puke bags and buckets. You know what I mean? Some are going to carry chargers, and now they're going to carry what? Some Depends diapers? I mean, just in case it happens. Like, yep, throw this on.
Or
Oh,
maybe
man.
they'll get
We don't get
the
paid enough for
ridiculous.
this, people. We
You
don't
get
get paid enough.
no. You know what? Now you got to lay plastic down, like grandma laid down on their plastic couches, so nothing would happen, and
Those
then
old
get
school
your seats
plastics with
scotch
the little,
guarded.
yeah, the little pricks on the bottom of the plastic, so that way they stay in place. You just have to put it all over the place. It's just a big, looks like an episode of Dexter. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what you're going to have to do to roll around with.
Essentially, it would be lay the plastic down like we did with our parody video that we made way back in February when
Yeah,
the
just
whole
had it
pandemic was
everywhere.
just getting started and everybody was kind of like not really sure what going on, but we were having a little fun with it.
And
But yeah,
speaking of that, a lot of drivers now have partitions in the middle. Could you imagine if you had a partition in the middle too? At least that would keep her craziness from behind you, because she's screaming and stuff. You don't know what she might flip out, try to grab you and stuff.
oh, imagine if that shit squirted all over.
Oh, man, you're like, I can't see.
Oh man. Oh man, yeah. So
We'll
I gotta
have a
say
happy
that's a
ending.
crazy story. But in all, this is something that you want to kind of think about as a driver, because you don't know what types of situations you could potentially be in. And yeah, it doesn't happen too often when you hear about pregnancy. Like you said earlier, Dustin, you remember talking about one video where there was somebody in New York City. But all in all, yeah, I mean, something could happen all of a sudden, completely unexpected. Maybe she was going to a friend's house in a different scenario, but at least in this case, she was going to the hospital. So we know she was probably having contractions at this point. The water obviously didn't break until the car, so very unfortunate thing there. But this is one of those thought experiment things that you want to kind of at least think about. So if you are ever in that type of situation, you kind of know or have an idea what to do. Dustin, you said your idea, I said my ideas, but unfortunately it's one of those things, again, it's only a thought experiment and it could completely change down the road if you're in that situation, in that split second decision making process and kind of running without thinking things through. So you don't necessarily know, but again, that's the thought experiment behind things. So comment below what you think you might do and let us know what you think that would be, because it's pretty interesting nonetheless. And the only other thing I can say is I hope Uber pays for at least 100% of the damages, because why would that unfortunately have to fall on the driver? And hopefully
He's made them way
somehow
enough money in 12,000 trips to cover that kind of damage. He's made them plenty of money in 12,000 trips, so they definitely need to cover it. If you guys agree with us, make sure you give us a thumbs up on that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, with that being said, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. This was Chris. So as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time. And Dustin, you can sign the video off.
And please, guys, use your common sense out there. I mean, obviously, if something like this happens, you got to do what you got to do, but don't endanger yourself as well, because if anything happens, in the end, it's all going to fall on you. But all right, guys, until next time, good luck and God bless. Peace out.
Scotch guard on or don't.
And I was trying to think of something like use the floor mat or don't. Or have the pens or don't.
6 mil polyplastic or don't.
6 mil or 8.